Hi, this is Meg Lightheart from megalightheart.com. I don't know if you've been wondering about this that's been behind me throughout all of the videos so far. It was stitched by my friend Cass. They were with me on the 6-month Enroll Yourself Learning Marathon, and it came from a session that I ran on listening, and I thought this might be a good way for us to end this week thinking about courageous conversations. The concept I'm going to talk about is an extension of what's normally spoken about in terms of listening, and I got it from Theory U, the work of Otto Scharmer and other people, and I think as a way of thinking about listening, I think it can spark something pretty profound when we're able to think about it. So the model says there's 4 levels of listening. The first level of listening is what I call waiting. You're not really listening, you're just waiting for your turn to talk. We all recognise that one. Then there's listening for debate. So you're really listening for the holes in the other person's argument and where you can come in to pick holes. You're listening at a factual level, listening for a way to win. The third level, which is where most listening programs that are even somewhat enlightened move towards, is listening for dialogue, which means you're really listening for the other person's perspective, you're listening for feelings, you're noticing your own feelings and the other person's feelings. The fourth level is listening for transformation, and this form of listening is going into a conversation, allowing yourself to be vulnerable to transformation. That maybe going into this conversation, something in you will change and you don't know what that is. So you're really opening your expectations as much as you can, coming down the ladder of inference that we spoke about on Wednesday, letting go of your assumptions about how the conversation's going to go, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable to transformation, to expect the conversation to potentially be surprisingly profound. And so often we go into conversations that are tough, or even just conversations that happen in our life normally, thinking we pretty much know how it's going to go. And that allows for a set of roles to play out, and something profound can happen when you go in with as open a silence as you can, and as open a mind, as open a heart, as open a gut as you can, to allow there to be something new to emerge between you. It takes a lot of practice, and I absolutely do not claim to do it 1% of the time, but apart from when I'm coaching. And that role is very specific because I'm listening to support the other person, and so there's like the situation allows for me to remain in stillness, to remain listening with very open ears, open heart, open gut. So I do that very much when I'm coaching. Outside of coaching, not even 1% do I think I do it, unless someone's in a very strong situation when I remember. But when you do it, it's profoundly transformational, and it's probably thinking about it one of the reasons why coaching can be really profound, to have someone who's listening to you in a way where they're vulnerable to transformation, and they're holding you in a situation where you can be vulnerable to transformation as well. It's a bit ineffable, the effect that it has, but it's worth going into a courageous conversation, being as courageous as you can in terms of you being vulnerable to transformation. So we've come to the end of our first foray into courageous conversations. There's lots more to be said, but I hope this week has been useful to give you some concepts and practices to at least begin to prepare for a difficult conversation or practice being better. If you want some support in getting better at this kind of thing, then go to megalightheart.com and see whether coaching it's the right time for coaching for you between us. If you have a steady income and you want to support me in producing these videos, go to patreon.com/megalightheart and become a monthly patron. Also leave a comment or a question if you have one. Click subscribe if you're on YouTube so you find out about these videos when they come up next. And next week we're moving into a type of courageous conversation, which is feedback. So we're moving this into a reasonably professional situation and talking about how to give and receive feedback in a way that's healthy and useful. I'm Meg Lightheart from megalightheart.com, and I'll see you next week.